What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, if so, to another market update video here at Benefit Central. I'm Benjamin, and today Bitcoin in the S&P charts. But before I get right into the market, please leave a like, drop a comment, and if you could, please share the video. I'm trying to get a few, more views and trying to get this video out there. But if you could, subscribe as well. Honestly, guys, the charts did exactly what we wanted them to do. There is no simpler term than that. Honestly, as we expected. The past week, honestly, for the past few days, we ended up closing above our indicators right here for Ethereum, forming that acorn and eventually getting that bull 180 like we had suggested if we didn't break below bearish. And now we got, extreme volumes on the 15-minute, pushing, and I mean pushing past 1700. We immediately jumped past 1650. That's where we saw last night's pricing at. And I believe almost 1600 I believe that we were around chilling at before we ended up pushing past all of that, and we went to, I believe, 1720 as of right now. So as of right now, the market is doing great. Unfortunately, we did end up hearing at around 8:30 about the job reports. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't really too bad or too good. So honestly, I will go into more detail in that in another video, or if we have enough time towards the end, I will. But other than that, realistically looking at Ethereum, we're going to jump into the daily real quick just to show you guys about that acorn and the bull 180. However, checking in on that weekly, you can tell, obviously with all of these lines here, it's just TPs set for how far we're going to go forward. It's every half and every whole for Ethereum, just because Ethereum is set with a lot of volume and is pretty intense as it moves through prices. But as of right now, checking in on that 4 hour just to show you guys what's going on in the smaller time frame. We are attempting to get that bullish cross here on the 4 hour with, I would say with our indicators here, we did get that bearish one, but unfortunately we broke bullish instead of bearish right here. And because honestly, I was expecting lower prices to happen because of this on the longer term, but instead we broke bullish and found most of our momentum around 1700. We are approaching being overbought, which is just a bit concerning for the 4 hour, just because we aren't getting necessarily too strong of a candles. We got rejected pretty hard around 1720. So I did long 1700 just to see where we will go from here, just because of how much momentum we've continued to show. And we are looking at a nice double bottom here, so I am just trying to see where the prices are going to be closing for the next day or so, but we are approaching overbought on the 4 hour. So it is going to be a little interesting. We do have that Ethereum merge coming up as well next week. But as of right now, Ethereum looks completely bullish as well. However, this rejection can turn into a bear 180 and right here, and then it would be a GBI pushing us further down into the market around our bullish cross, which could be a good entry to end up going back into 1700. But unfortunately for me, I only buy halves and wholes when things start to add up like this. So on the hourly, we are above our 200 EMA, as well as we are getting a bullish cross right here. So I did eventually long 1700, anticipating that we continue to go up. However, we are getting a bit of rejection around 1700 on this hourly, and this could be a nice pivot to continue down. However, we did just open that 30-minute, so we are getting it's 4 minutes in. We are getting that 30-minute candle to see what we want to do towards the 1700 area for right now. However, we still are bullish. It is still continuing to push up. We just are overbought, which is just a bit concerning on everything right now, just because of how today opened. But jumping into Bitcoin right here, just on the top screen, looking in on the daily, if you guys want to go ahead. And we did get that bullish cross, of course, and of course coming in contact with it now, trying to get this bullish 180 to pop. However, we got rejected around 23,500. If today can close, we have a few hours before we end up closing this daily, but if we have a good close above this, you should anticipate that we continue to see prices further. However, right now we are facing a bit of bearish resistance, just because we have been passing certain resistances right now, like 23,000, and for Ethereum, the price is 1700. It's really this floor of 1650 and 1600, but now we're at the resistance of 1700. So it is a bit interesting, just because we are approaching interesting prices and resistance and ceilings as of right now. So as long as we can get some bullish daily closes, we should be looking pretty good. However, looking at the weekly, you can tell that we are still attempting to close above the 200 EMA. We are below all other indicators though for the weekly, as well as being extremely oversold at around 30%. We're not, I mean, extremely oversold, but we are pretty much oversold. We could go around zero, but we really just haven't, in a while. As you can tell, we just haven't wicked down below that 30%. So it's safe to say that we won't wick below it again. We did that once here, so it's safe to say we won't do that again, and we should just, and if we do, we might tap the 30 and then continue to go up, making a higher low, which would be phenomenal, showing that there was a bottom here indeed, for a temporary bottom for the crypto markets. However, the S&P, US 30, and NASDAQ did tank, and I will show you guys that on today's open. However, we were overbought on the charts, so it really wasn't too unexpected. If anything, the news reports, if anything, just helped it do what it needed to do for a healthy retracement. However, just the impact on that to the crypto is what I'm just a bit worried about, just because they have empathy plays and sympathy plays, and I just don't like them correlating too well and too tightly, especially when something like this happens. And I'll get into further detail as soon as we check on the S&P. But looking at Bitcoin, you can tell that we're above our 200 EMA, which is phenomenal. On the monthly, we are still attempting to stay above our 50 right here, our indicator right here, our blue line. I just still don't like how we can form this GBI down to the downside. I still don't like that. But as long as we can hold ourselves above this indicator, I really don't see us seeing any problems with this. As well as closing above 23,000 for the weekly, as well as for the daily, should be phenomenal for us to continue moving forward for bullish momentum, at least to the top of this channel, until we either have to decide to break bearish or bullish with this channel, and if this was necessarily the bottom or not. But diving into, I'm going to show you guys real quick for the crypto side, just XRP. As you can tell, I was gonna long this morning, but I'm glad I didn't, just because of how it's been reacting. But as you can tell, it's trying to form a GBI going to the downside. However, our indicators are attempting to push it back above our neckline resistance. So once again, our triple bottom is just not forming for us for XRP. Either this is a delayed move, like I said, we just trend the rest of this square out, but this is a delayed move, and we're attempting a way bigger pump than what people realize, or this is simply just another retest to our high 40 cents, where I had shown you guys of the same pump from here. We could go from top to bottom right here, from wick to bottom, it adds up perfectly. And if you go and look, it's around the 43 cents. So I mean, we can see a high of 43 cents for sure for the few next days. However, if you wanted to look at the pullback, we'll pull back from here. We can see here that that's how far we pulled back from wick to close. So I mean, that's what I'm saying, is we can still get we can still see some bearish momentum, and not everything correlates, very correct and very identical like that, but that is just a good idea of how far you can retrace back down to get this attention of the bottom right here of our ascending channel, or to get the attention of that blue indicator around our 50 EMA. Just to get us some more momentum to push back, and it could simply just be a wick from touching that and then jumping back into the 37-cent level and then pushing bearish or bullish, excuse me. But other than that, realistically, XRP is just looking a bit weak. I'm not really too sure why the rest of the market decided to take off, but as you can tell, like for the past few weeks, we've just been consolidating heavy with little candles, very, very tiny candles, as well as the monthly looking like a bearish GBI here, which is just not what we want to see. And what I mean by that is a bearish GBI is we should see this go down. This is, yeah, it's just like this right here. I wish this is an RBI. If you guys don't know these terms already, you guys will see some of these form live. So if you haven't already, check the lives out, and you'll see certain things that I trade and patterns and candles. But other than that, realistically, I'm going to just show you guys the Ethereum and S&P 500 charts, just because of how it reacted. It looks like we're doing good though. Good recovery from what just happened, because we did tank this morning, I was about to say. So I'll show you guys in 15 minutes. Yeah, great recovery, phenomenal recovery. But we had tanked from our high all the way down, and it was crazy, to our 4100. But it looks like we just tested support, because if you go and look on the daily, the 4100 level was the bottom of, or the top, excuse me, of our descending channel. So we came down, tested support, and pushed us right off of that, which is phenomenal. Means that we are ready to continue forward. Just as long as we can get this daily to continue doing that, we don't continue back down, we should see a step that our bullish momentum continues, even being overbought. Maybe we could just range out here for a little bit before getting back into this channel, and then possibly having an opportunity to break bearish. I just don't want to see that. Our indicators are pushing forward. Weekly, we're pushing forward, and we're above our indicator. Monthly, we came back for that retest, and we're already pushing forward. Realistically, this is great. Like I said, though, for the S&P, for the markets, you can tell that we are going to get a high of 4,250, and really no more than that, just because that is our resistance right there, at least for temporarily, before we end up breaking and closing above. However, everybody, that was just another quick market update video for you guys. If you guys would like me to go over anything else, just please drop a comment and do so ask me. But other than that, was just a quick market update video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.